At Zimpreneurs, we talk a lot about reverse engineering. So, we looked at countries like Japan and we consider how they have managed to reverse engineer a lot of the innovations or a lot of the inventions that were taking place in other parts of the world or in the Western world. And they have reverse engineering, especially the Chinese. They do a lot of reverse engineering of technologies which already exist. Then they come up with their own technologies, or they come up with their own products and services. If you look at Facebook, for example, they've got their own Facebook in China, which they've reverse engineered from what the Americans and Mark Zuckerberg have been doing. So, as entrepreneurs, we encourage people to reverse engineer their aspirations, what they want to become. But to do that, first of all, you need to come up with what your vision is. So what is your vision? First of all, what do you want to see? Who is the future you? What is the future country look like? Okay, if you're thinking about building the country, what would you like to see? If you're thinking about yourself individually, what sort of person do you want to become? Okay, so who is the future you? What do you want to see? What is your vision? Then you reverse engineer that. Okay, so reverse engineer the future you want to see by drafting SMART goals. And by SMART goals is just an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. But if you look at that being specific, which is the first letter of the acronym, to be specific can also be just to be as simple as possible, to be sensible and be specific. So those are the other words that we can use. We can use simple, we can use sensible. In terms of the M for measurable in SMART goals, the M is for measurable, but you can also take it to mean meaningful and motivating. So is your goal specific? Is it simple? Is it sensible? Is it measurable? Can we measure it? Is it meaningful? Does it mean anything? Is it motivating? Does it make you want to work? And the A stands for achievable, but it can also be agreed and attainable. Okay, so are you measurable? Is your SMART goal measurable? Is it achievable? Is it relevant? Is it attainable? Is it agreeable? And then we look at the R in SMART, which is relevant. Okay, but relevant can also mean reasonable, resourced, results-based, realistic. And then the T is time-bound or time-based or time-limited, okay, or time cost-limited. Timely can mean time-sensitive, okay. So your goal has to be SMART, and it has to answer to the reverse engineering of your future or the future that you want to see, okay. Then after all this is done, okay, if you're brave enough to have been able to come up with a SMART goal, then the next stage is to implement, and this is the crucial part, okay. If you cannot implement, then you're as good as someone who has not done anything. In fact, the difference between the people who succeed and those who fail is that the success stories are based on failures of people that are trying, that are implementing. So if you look at Facebook is not done, okay. Just look at how it has changed. If you go on the internet and just search for what the homepage looked like when Facebook first started and what it is doing now, you will find that it has continuously been implementing changes, okay. So implementation does not mean that you are implementing the final product. It just means that you continue to work on a daily basis and you continue to improve on the product or the service that you're providing. Okay, so one of the problems with for example, if you want to really make your story be known, is how to tell your story. And most people think that they have to wait until they get to a stage where they have succeeded, then they can talk about a success story, or maybe they can talk about a story of failure. But the trend now, or what a lot of people are beginning to do, is instead of talking about a time period when they have actually succeeded and come up with something, they always document what they are doing. So documentation is the key. As you implement, you can document what you are implementing. Okay? And to document, you really need to get to grips with social media. Social media is really people, because that's where people are. People are paying more attention to social media than to other traditional forms of media. And this is just a natural evolution of the attention shifting away from television and radio onto the new social media platforms. You will find that even television programs have a presence on social media now, because that's where the people are. So instead of people watching TV, your programs on a television set, you expect them now to watch the same program on maybe their mobile handsets or their iPads or other mobile devices, right? So you need to learn to use social media, because that's where the attention is. The attention is on Facebook pages, it's on Facebook groups, the attention is on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's on Snapchat, it's on YouTube, it's on Anchor, it's on SoundCloud, it's on musical.ly or musical.ly. Okay, so that's where the attention is. And if you are going to document your journey, okay, to the creation of capital, then you need to be on those platforms and you need to know how to use them. Okay, so in other videos, I'm going to speak specifically on each of the different social media networks or social media platforms to explain how you can take advantage of not only documentation but of marketing, because a lot of marketing now is being done by the people who own the products and the services. They have to do their own marketing instead of coming up with very expensive adverts, documenting, talking about what's happening in the background. If you're a YouTube creator, talking about how you are coming up with your videos, what platform, what software you're using to record your videos, how you are, what software you're using to come up with the final product, to edit and to do everything you need to do before you have a final product, which you then post or you upload onto YouTube. Okay, so reverse engineer your aspirations, but you need a SMART goal, and then you need to implement, and implementation and documentation should go hand in hand. Then you need to learn how to use social media networks so that they don't become distribution channels where you're just distributing stuff, but you're actually interacting with people. If people are on social media networks, then that's the place to be, okay? Because it means that they are paying attention to what is going on social media platforms than what is going on TV or on radio. Okay, thank you for listening.